Good evening, everybody. My name is Martin Jesus Reyes. I'm here to run for secretary. I'm a senior, super senior in chemistry and computer science double major. So when I joined SHEP, it was more of kind of on a whim. I heard that they were offering a sponsorship for computer scientists, and I figured, well, I mean, engineers giving me like a chance to do their thing, why not? So one of the biggest problems was kind of accessing this information. For a while, it was like, okay, I get how to sign up for these points. I need these points to go to to nationals. And okay, I can do that talking with this person. Oh, well, that email is different than this email. So for me, it felt like it was, for lack of a better word, messy. And you know, with the group me, with the emails, with the two different sites, we have the SHEP Weebly, we have the SHEP UH, and I understand that it's a database, and that's how we see like where we stand among others. What I think needs to be done is to consolidate that information for current members and separate that from the SHEP Weebly website, which kind of represents the face of our organization, what we stand for and what we offer, and make that available to, you know, the SHEP Weebly website. And then what we have to do with the calendar is move it over to SHEP UH, because I feel like it's appropriate to have our points correspond to how to sign up and all that other jazz. I also plan on working very closely with the new member representative and historian to set up what's it called? IRC, which is kind of a way of interacting with other people online and help them with the technical side of that, coming from a computer science background. My experience in dealing with the back end and the databases and the technical portion of this.
So I'm looking here and it shows that your expected course load is 14 hours for the fall. And I'm taking a look at here at your GPA as indicated. And you're also a senior, so my concern would be is balancing that, because at the end of the day, if you don't graduate with a good GPA, then, you know, you're not setting yourself up for success, you know, to take the next step and get in a career. And so in terms of balancing a leadership position within this organization, or using that time to dedicate it for your studies to improve your GPA and get you to that next step and on the right track. Tell me what your thoughts are there. My concern would be is, you know, you're dedicating your time to this where I think your efforts would be spent elsewhere, better spent elsewhere.
Right. So, well, I do agree with you that it does reflect on, you know, my ability to manage time. It's also a lot to do with 4 choices that I made coming into college, because I am the first person in my family to go to college, and everything kind of up to that point was easier, I would say. So my habits going into college for the first year and a half, really made it hard for me to keep my GPA where I wanted it to be. I did end up failing a class. I did end up getting a C and a D in a class, and I feel like I'm still recovering from that. My classes are also very different at times, coming from a double major. So it is switching from mindset to mindset, but I think that from a certain point I have learned to manage that a lot better, and I feel like where I stand now, I'm in a good position to manage time. Still taking 7 classes this semester, I think I've done an okay job.
So as a secretary, you're going to have to really be in those meetings, and I mentioned that because you said that the newsletters felt messy to you, and I don't think you realize how much stuff happens in those e-board meetings. So my question to you is, have you attended an e-board meeting, and do you understand the role of the secretary in those meetings?
I have not had the opportunity to attend an e-board meeting.
I have a question. Were they allowed to attend the meetings?
Only once.
Only once?
Yes, we had private meetings this year.
Okay. Okay, so disregard that question then, because that doesn't apply. Okay, but so let me ask another question. You mentioned the Weebly website and the UH website. Are you saying that they're 2 different websites?
There is a shepweebly.com website, and there's also a SHEP UH website, which is more of like our database and our point, like it's more for us to see our point distribution.
Okay.
And
And your plan was to, can you elaborate a little bit
kind
on the plan?
of to consolidate what belongs to current members on the Chef UH side as it pertains to events and signups, dates, times, stuff like that, and how to reach those certain people. Because as it stands now, it's all in the newsletter or the PowerPoint slides, and it feels kind of messy to me. It's not very consolidated.
No, that's okay.
So as secretary, you are in charge of getting the information to the members. In fact, you are the connection between what is going on within the chapter and everybody. And like you said, you need to restructure these newsletters, but you need to make sure that these newsletters are getting out there in a timely manner so that our members are aware of what opportunities are open to them, right? So my question to you is, how do you plan to get, what is going to be your initiative? How are you going to go about getting all that information? Because that information is not in the database and it doesn't come to you. You
Right.
need to look for it.
So to make sure I understand your question, we're specifically talking about the newsletter and what data, may I ask? What data are you specifically talking about?
Yeah, what are you going to put in the
Okay.
newsletter? Because
So-
that's probably one of the biggest challenges that a secretary will face.
Okay, I just want to understand your question. So the newsletter, as it stands, it feels okay, it feels fine. It's more of a concern with what is our database distributed, or like what is our database keeping track of. And the newsletter does give out the events, it gives out our PowerPoint slides, but it feels very overwhelming. There's a lot of information on it, and to a newer member, I can understand why that would be overwhelming. A fix, I believe, would be to make it less verbose, to make sure that the links maybe stand out more. I had an issue, and I'm not sure if that was maybe a coding issue or not, where everything was kind of pushed into the center, and there's a lot of white space, so the newsletter runs quite a ways. So I'm not sure if that's a technical fix or if that's just how the newsletter shows up in most cases. I think there is a fix for that anyway, but that would also be a more technical fix.
Okay.